It should be live. I'm just gonna go quickly double check YouTube, make sure it's working,
Indeedy.
because I know sometimes it likes to be
Leggy.
difficult.
Yep.
Okay, sweet.
says
It
live
is
on my end.
broadcasting.
We
and
are.
there's someone already here. All right, there we go. Hello and welcome, everyone. This is the Rift City once again after a long hiatus of illness, and people were just gone. Like, we just lost people. Like, we just didn't have people here, so we couldn't do anything. But now we are back, and we were going to be talking about the MLP movie. Why the MLP movie? Because we voted. It was voted for on our Twitter account. If you want to check out our Twitter, that's linked on the home screen. If you just hit the Rift City channel button, you'll take you to the channel in the top right hand corner. You can get a link to our Twitter, so you can help vote for the next thing. I will try to get the next poll out sometime today or tomorrow, so people can vote on what to talk about next. But other than that, we have Blue Prism, Mirror Marvel, Pat Rex, Trans Gamer, and I think Mr. Left Turn in Spirit.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he gets his notes in and if my left impression is up to scratch.
All right, well, we can try to hold out for that. But who would like to go first then?
Me, pick me.
Okay, go right ahead.
Well, in short, I thought the film was a hell of a lot of fun. Wait, is that against the language? I'm sorry.
I think that's okay, but I mean, look, yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be all right for now. But
It was
just
a
if at
hell-
all possible.
Yep, it was a hay of a lot of fun. It felt to me like one of the better two-parters, like Canterlot Wedding or Twilight's Kingdom. There were plot holes there, but I was just so invested that I didn't care. The main six, very good conflicts, especially Twilight. There were little moments to shine. The new characters introduced were generally pretty fun. Tempest Shadow was an amazing villain, and lots of the new characters, even though they were a bit underdeveloped, I found them fun. The new locations in Equestria, or outside Equestria, were
Wait, do you say
incredible to see.
locations or playsets? You know, I get those confused sometimes.
Yeah, I think somehow Hasbro's going to get more money either way, whatever they are.
Yeah, you should see half of the merchandising they have.
Yeah, but this movie's gonna be a big buck, that's for sure.
That's for the holiday season too.
Mm-hmm.
Like My Little Pony dolls, My Little Pony backpacks, My Little Pony the flamethrower.
Kids love it, I hear. Oh, wait, could it be green flames like in the film? We finally get to see Spike as a flamethrower.
Oh,
Yep,
actually,
indeed.
funny enough, my cousin has one of those.
What? Alright, well, I am not going to visit Mirror's cousin anytime soon.
Oh, also, Storm King is a good villain. Fight me, even though Tempest's better. But Storm King is funny. Night
It's
I mean,
actually
it's up in
funny.
sleeper.
night day.
It's actually funny since seeing how his voice actor was Sabretooth in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie.
Yeah, he was one of the only good parts in that piece of.
Alright, well, we're not talking about X-Men right now. We're talking about ponies. Ponies, Josh. Ponies. One fandom at a time.
Yeah, and thankfully, even though they were getting celebrity voices in, they were all very capable performers, and I liked all the songs, and some of them were a bit poppy. But "Open Up Your Eyes" was the first villain song I've heard in a while, and it feels like an instant classic to me. So, in short,
Well, everyone has been raving about it, like to the moon.
Yeah.
And then you see one person who doesn't really like it.
yeah.
Well, that's criticism.
Plus,
You can't please everyone. That's
I know.
humanity.
I
Plus,
know.
Plus Edgelord OC, I mean Tempest Shadow, feels like Glimmer done right, in that she was actually very threatening, I felt, and her backstory was decent in that it was much more scarring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice to
No.
see the art style. Like the cheap, like sort of like, well, not cheap, but basic, simplistic art style to see that bring back in the movie, because the animation, I think everyone can agree on, was significantly better than the show, and it looks like
Yeah.
the lighting is magnificent.
Yeah,
Also,
while there were-
another-
problem with it was the shading.
yeah, while there were a couple of bits where it felt like the ponies were a bit out of place in the backgrounds, overall,
Yeah.
I think it looks stunning. The movements
Also,
and the
so,
also,
this is the first 2D animation that we had in theaters for a while now.
It's the first one I've
Yeah.
ever seen in theaters, because I was too young to actually go to the theaters when they had 2D animation.
yep.
Well, it actually is a big treat for me because I grew up
A
with
person who-
2D.
Yeah, grew up with 2D in theaters, and then like this entire aspect is gone. And I'm guessing it's like super nostalgic to see like 2D animation at theaters again.
To
Yeah,
be
it's like
honest,
it's
only-
alive.
To be honest, the only
It's back.
2D
It's alive.
to be honest, the only 2D I ever have seen was Ponyo.
Ponyo.
Wow.
Oh,
Ponyo.
Hayao Miyazaki film. Very good.
Yeah.
Wait, you haven't seen any of the 2D Disney?
Oh, I have seen 2D films. I do remember Little Mermaid and a lot of stuff.
Just not in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember watching Mulan 2 in theaters.
Huh.
I remember I don't
Anyways,
remember.
let's get back to the ponies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I was gonna say, while the film isn't perfect, I mean, Applejack felt very underutilized, and I wanted more of Fluttershy. Maybe unbiased, but she did get a good moment in the climax. But overall,
Yeah.
Fluttershy
yeah.
as Dr. Wolf, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, that was probably my favorite moment in the film. It was so funny.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, also first time in a while they actually killed off a villain, and this time it was one
Yeah.
with a character. Spoiler alert.
That is true. One
I
that
went-
wasn't a Pokemon, because Summer's real name as a Pokemon is Crystal. His Pokemon name is Crystal.
But
Because that's
so,
all you say. It's Crystal.
yeah, maybe I'll go a bit more in detail as we go on, and I can discuss this. But overall, I really like the film. Plus Hasbro learned that well, from their last big theatrical release of a TV show they have, not to kill off the old toys to introduce new ones.
Hmm.
You can relate, can't you, Trans?
Yeah, I kind of actually understand that point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thankfully, Twilight wasn't brutally killed off by Tempest Shadow.
If they killed any of the main characters in this film, imagine what they'd do to the franchise. Like, because if all of a sudden one of the main six was missing, if none of the main six ever went missing, that would either mean the movie was not canon or happened after the TV show, which would be
Yeah, kinda
horrific
like-
continuity errors for Hasbro to tackle. So they
Yep.
couldn't afford to get rid of a character.
True. Yeah, I'm just glad that a certain Rift City member's theory about the main six getting axed off and replaced was proven wrong. No offense, Robbery. It's just that I like having Fluttershy around.
Me
And the
too.
other ones are okay, I guess. The others are okay, I guess.
Man,
Sorry.
you're for.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, never mind.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, pretty much complete.
So a thumbs
Cap
up
was
from
the
you
best.
then?
Yep, 2 thumbs up. Well,
Two
I'd probably
thumbs up.
put
Oh, wow.
thumbs up.
I can only manage the one.
I give it a 7 or an 8 out of 10 as a critic, but just on an enjoyment level, it really got me and had a lot of fun. And honestly, in the moment with Twilight shouting at her friends on the beach, I
Oh, that was
the
impactful. That was a
pain
good
of that.
I cried, honestly.
First time they showed true emotion.
Yeah, well, actually not emotion, but rage towards each other. It was disagreement.
Yeah.
And it was really well set up throughout the
Yeah,
film.
it was a lot
Like,
stronger than ever shown in the show, I think. Because
Right.
mainly because they had that in the show, they're working with like a 22-minute block. But with the movie, they have like they have like 90 minutes to draw out this character so it doesn't seem forced. And what they did with Twilight is they showed her and her like rage building up throughout the film until it just peaked, and then she erupted, or like she blew up under her friends.
yeah,
And it's
I
like,
don't-
and that was really good. And they were able to do it and make it impactful because they had the time to do it. I'm sure they would try to do it in the show, because we know the show is definitely matured with the audience at least a bit. So
Yeah, but-
we haven't had the time within an episode to do that, except maybe a season finale or premiere.
probably
And
a
even
premiere,
then
but-
falls a bit flat.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like I was saying, some people have called her stealing the orb from the hippocamphogryphs a bit out of character, but
I hated that. I mean, I give Crutcher Girls a little bit of credit. At least Twilight didn't decide to steal the crown right away.
yeah, but I understand why she did it. She was desperate. The other princesses were gone. Her friends were constantly attracting Tempest's efforts, and friendship had failed her throughout the film. So
It's just
totally
I
believe that she. that she's.
It's just
told
I
me.
didn't really like it. I found it cringy, and I was like, it's like Twilight if you do.
Well, I mean,
I like the Twilight.
what's a good film that doesn't have the main character do something that doesn't when's okay bleh. When does a good film not have the main character make what seems like an obvious mistake, but given the situation might seem like a good idea? Like that just happens in all good films.
True.
If the protagonist is flawless and makes no mistakes, then you don't have a movie.
Okay, yeah,
You
you're
don't
right
have a
about-
story. There's nothing to learn. There's no take back unless mistakes are made, because you don't learn from success.
Yeah.
Okay, you are right about that,
Yeah,
and
plus
I
because of
did
that-
kind of like how Twilight was in this movie.
Yeah. Plus, because of that, we got an amazing villain song, so I'm completely fine with that.
We got a pretty good question in the chat. It goes, how is their Opal, Rarity's pet, as a regular cat, and then Kappa as an anthropomorphic cat? What's the scientific reasoning behind that? Well, you see,
Because merchandising.
Hmm.
I was about to say, because this is a show about pastel-colored ponies, and it's made for little girls to make money. Do you think they care? No, they don't.
No, actually, one of the persons I watched a review of pointed out the same thing for when she was watching Geppetto, or Pinocchio, because if you remember that there is an anthropomorphic cat, and then Geppetto has a regular cat, which is weird.
To quote one of my favorite reviewers, Linkara, "It's magic. We don't have to explain it."
Magic.
Actually, to be here, it was going to be in a sort of mirror cracks.
Yeah.
I have been told that many times. It's magic.
Yeah.
Don't have to explain it. I mean, it's a show for little girls. I don't think they're gonna look that much
Yeah.
into it. I
Although-
doubt there's a little girl that's like, "Hey, now wait a second." Pulls out like a book. There's a continuity error from season 1 to season 5. What's
Oh.
wrong with that?
Oh, I think that would be any gift the Pernalysis kids.
That's a reviewer in a nutshell.
And I think we can all agree that we needed Kappa. He's the friend that we need when we're lost.
Capper.
Okay, Pat, I get the feeling that throughout this you're gonna make a lot of jokes to the songs.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes and so Patrick, I think you made your point. Does anyone else
although-
wish who would like to go next in sharing?
I did have just one more
Hey.
problem. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah, one more thing. Go right ahead.
Yeah, one more thing. It was the character, but it was the absence of the character. Where was Discord? He could have sorted out the plot in no
Well, you
time
see, he
flat.
was
Ow!
a balloon as a cameo because John Delancey is hecka expensive. We ain't
Well,
paying for that. We
Um,
were
They-
using
they
like
did
500
have him.
voice actors.
Gosh,
Patrick.
pigeon, damn it.
They,
You
they
walked into
did
hell.
have him in,
Sorry.
Language, Pat.
but not as voiced.
I said God. I said gosh, Phrygian. Well,
Also, welcome, Patrick, to half of what the Brunellos have complained about ever since the movie came out. Starting with the ANY pony to whichever mentioned this first in the roundtable is Magic is Live.
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, like I said, I love the film. Sorry that I interrupted.
And that's fine.
Well, just wanted to let you know on one point they did have Discord in there, but not voiced, and
Yeah,
it
as
was,
a balloon because John Delancey's
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh, for
it was
God's
just
sake.
a balloon.
Well, they
Oh.
already spent they had a killer cast of like super expensive voice actors and actresses.
Oh yeah, I'm with you
So
because
like there's no way they still had budget, and like they switched art programs, animation programs to improve the animation. So that means they have to pay animators that know how to use it. They have to then learn the material, go through all the extra details. Not to mention they are making a 90-minute film, much longer, and a short that featured before the film. So like this movie
Mediocre
took a
short.
lot of money to make. It took millions to make. They just either they didn't see the need for it or they just couldn't afford it. And there's a ton of cameos from different like beloved background characters, but they're not voiced because they already spent a ton of money on these big shot voice actors and actresses, and
maybe
there's
they
really no point because they wouldn't add much to the story.
Or maybe they could have removed the quesadillas from the cafeteria. I think Tara Strong would have appreciated that, and we could have.
I don't know, man. Those quesadillas are pretty good.
I find your jokes a little bit too cheesy at the moment.
Oh no.
Boo!
The pun.
I know, bad joke. Allow me to get the trombone.
Good answer.
Oh, here's a good comment from the same person that asked the question. It's I'm gonna say upset because I don't want to say the actual word.
Peeve?
Upset at how instead of failed royal guards, there are no guards at all. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
The one
Yeah.
time, like they weren't even there. Like it's a festival event. All princesses are showing up. Who needs guards? They don't do anything. Why are we
Maybe-
paying them?
No, I have an idea of why they weren't there.
It was their
Prince,
day off.
yes.
Oh boy.
They were joining the festival.
Budget cuts, perhaps.
Yeah.
We got tired of paying for fake security.
Well, this anyway.
All right.
So just cut the trouble. But and I have Mr. Left Turn's thoughts for when everyone else is done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who would like to go next then?
I guess I could go next.
All right, go right ahead.
Personally, I actually really loved the movie. I love seeing all the cast members, and I also loved all the music.
Mhm.
My only real criticism was the fact that the animation program was different because of the shading on Pinky Rarity, and also because of Spike being turned into a pufferfish in Sequestria. I agree with my friend Justin, aka Connoisseur.
He should have been Flounder. He
He's a
looked like
pufferfish.
Flounder, but was a pufferfish instead.
Well, what were you supposed to make Spike and
Flounder.
Sequestria?
He should have
A
been
sea
Flounder.
dragon!
I think it's
A
clear.
leafy sea dragon.
I think it's clear.
Oh,
That
that would be
Pufferfish,
adorable!
yeah. But I think it's clear Pufferfish Spike has got a bit of a prickly reception.
Oh, come on.
Boo.
I was kind of disappointed.
Trombone!
Thank you. I'm here
I
all
was
night.
kind of disappointed with the sea ponies because it would have been way funnier if they were all seahorses instead.
True, but
Then we'd end up getting this a lot in the theaters from the older members.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I think half of the Brodies would just leave the theater.
I need. Wait, hold on. Let me get my beer.
Shoot. Okay, so any other comments? Blue.
Still, favorite character has to be Songbird Serenade.
Of course. Big shock.
I mean, he is
Hey,
Sia,
I'm a big
so
Sia.
of course.
I am a big Sia fan.
I mean,
Yeah,
look at
fair
his character right now.
That's why I just said, babe.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. So
Anyways, to rate it, I give it off to my bow.
what?
I'm throwing my bow in the air at celebration.
Oh, yeah, we can't see it.
Yee.
And I wouldn't recommend sharing your screen because then they'd see. Then people on the internet
Yeah,
would see you.
so instead I'll just give it a fanfare victory.
How about that?
I'm done.
So I'm just responding in the chat and having horrific grammar as I do it.
Babe, your grammar
know
is
where Chaos was
okay.
here. I didn't know where Chaos was here.
Well, I mean, yeah, you
Anyways.
sort of chilling.
Uh,
All right. Okay. Who's next? We got Trans, Mirror, myself, and Lefty's Spirit.
Your girlfriend.
Oh yeah. For those that don't know, me and Mirror are dating now. So if you want to like make ship art and like just like make me die a little bit on the inside, that would be great.
And the Prince of Shipping does declare the ship sailing.
Boy.
do a picture of her booping his nose.
Oh no, Miss Noodle's been booped.
I've already drawn Mirror having her heart being doki doki.
Time to set sail.
But I guess I'll go next.
Okay, go right ahead.
I like this movie. It was one of my favorite movies that I had to see in theaters because this year I did see a lot of movies in theaters. But this was one I did enjoy too. I did like the characters. I did like that they get two Broadway alumni. And Capper, oh my gosh, he's just
Of course, the waifus. If Flash Sentry had good character, it would be Capper.
Well,
Yeah.
Annie was sly, mischievous, sarcastic, lovable piece of not trustworthiness.
Yes.
But I still love him.
the singing is so good. And what do you
Because they
expect
paid
when
for
he
a
was
really
from?
nice voice actor.
He was actually if I'm right, his voice actor was Benny from Rent.
Hmm.
Oh. Although, well, I think I know why I love him because he's basically a cat version of Greed from Full Metal Alchemist.
Just to interrupt for a moment, we got another comment. It's basically saying, why is it that whenever there's an Alucard involved, the plot says, "Oh, Alucards, don't worry, we've got some kryptonite for that."
Well, they have such great power. Someone has to want it or find some kind of solution.
Well, I
You guys do realize there's an alicorn in the call.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware,
okay,
but just in the show, Alicorns get one shot away because, oh, guys, big bad EC. All right, guys, we've got Alicorns. Nope. How you make an episode of Alicorns? All right, what can we do? Flying bugbear, kryptonite, Superman.
May I make one interjection?
Simple.
Yeah, sure.
Like why Power Rangers don't use Megazords at the beginning
That's
of the
true.
episode.
Why don't we just use the Megazord and crush everyone? Because then the episode would be over in 2 minutes.
Best.
No, Craig made a good joke on it, and he's like, wait, what?
No,
Don't worry, Blue. I'll put my
the best.
pepper spray next to my holy water.
The
Or
best
there's
one-
another one that I have for analogy. Why Sailor Moon doesn't use the Moon Spiral Heart attack at the very beginning of the boss fight.
Because that's not meta enough.
True.
Mhm.
the best answer to actually give it is plot convenience.
Exactly.
Yep, they would-
Excellent. Lefty is in the chat right now, and he said it's like comic books. There's always someone trying to take over the world. It's standard.
Yep.
So it's just like they come in, they plan because these Alicorns, everyone knows where they are. So they're like, all right, time to take out the Alicorns. Don't worry, I got some anti-Alicorn bug spray right here.
Well, to be fair, there is like in Marvel, if I'm right, an actual hero called Infinity, and he's quite literally the whole universe.
Yep.
Eh.
Somehow.
All right, well, back to ponies. It seems like Blue
Oh, I was still on mine.
stepped away. Okay, I'm just a bit curious. All right, go right ahead.
Like I said, I did like the voice actors. I did like how they had Broadway and alumni, and I did like how, the characters themselves. If I had to say what I least liked about this, like I said, Twilight. I mean, Twilight was good in this, but I'm sorry, that Pearl thing still just I had to hit my head. And and I was like, oh my god. But actually, if you want to know a fun story, when I went to see this movie, there was a lot of kids there, and I was sitting next to this sweet little girl who said her favorite pony was Pinkie Pie. It just made me feel so adorable. I
man.
just love kids.
When I went to the theater, I went like a couple weeks after, like a week or two after the film was out, because I have a friend at school who knows I'm a brony, and he likes to make fun jokes and stuff, and he's very nice, but he's like takes a crack at it every now and then. So he said, "Hey, we're going to see the movie this weekend." I'm like, "Wait, really?" And he's like, "No, bro." And then he tells his mother, and then his mother says, "Yeah, we can go see the movie." So then his mother, and he's a non-brony. So myself and my twin brother, both bronies, go with my friend and his little brother, both not bronies. We go to see the movie, and it was kind of funny. We only saw like 2 sets of groups that were actually of the proper age group, because it was like a parent with their kid of the actual right age, and I saw someone have like an MLP blanket with them, and then I see in the back row like more stereotypical looking brodies, like older men chilling in the back. So we sit in like the middle, we watch it, and they enjoyed it. My friend and his little brother both enjoyed the film despite not being into the TV show. They both thought it was a really good film and
good.
Really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I did saw little kids too for me. And also when I had to get my ticket, I was a little bit embarrassed, like, one ticket for my little buddy.
Oh yeah, Silver Quill made a great analogy. Blade Runner, woo, Blade Runner. One ticket to My Little Pony, the movie.
I'm just glad that
Blade
when
Runner.
I'm just glad that when I went to the cinema, I had my excuse. I mean, sister, to go. Yep, and I was still only one of 3 people with a spare Y chromosome in the theater. So
For me, I had to use Dailymotion.
Dailymotion, because it's like, man, I could go to the theater, but I'm broke and I don't want to join the live stream.
It also pays the fact that during band one day, I literally had another resource period, so I just watched it then with my friend.
Aww.
All right. We have another comment from Dusk Shield. He goes, if everyone remembers to the beginning of the scene where they entered the desert town, there was one that looked like an aquatic furry. It's outside of Equestria, everyone's a furry, apparently. Everyone's a furry outside of Equestria.
That's why no
Well,
one
I
wants to
guess that
venture out
helps
there.
any furry OCs creators out. They can just say
Yeah.
they're furry OCs.
There was a
their
post on
characters.
Twitter. So it was like Capper. He's doing like the boy thing, like you put your hands together, you pull that finger, you go like boy.
Inhale
It
deeply.
was that, and it was
Like-
it goes furry OCs can now be MLP OCs.
Actually,
Oh, it's a Pyrex. It popped on further. I'm
it's
actually
like-
gonna see if it comes up in the stream because I don't know if it's gonna work. That's why I keep the cameras turned off because I don't know if they work. Oh, it did pop up and in good quality. But the problem is because you weren't talking, it didn't full screen. Anyway, moving on. Any other comments, Samira?
I did like some of the background gags, and I do actually like the thing that it was Derpy who's pushed
Oh,
Twilight
yeah.
out of the way and took her
And the
her-
positioning of that little party hat was excellent.
Yep. We'll remember you, Derpy.
Or there's also one other part of the movie that I really loved.
What would that be?
Tempest Shadow's name reveal.
Yes, that was pretty good.
That was quite the fizzle pop berry twist.
Ha! That was a bad joke.
Actually, now I know what was the writing process on that name was. It's like, okay,
They put words in a hat and they drew them.
okay, what is Tempest Shadow's actual name?
Yep. Bright idea, eat your heart out. I challenge you for the title of Princess of Puns.
Boy.
Well,
Alright
he's
then.
she's already had a battle with my friend Springy.
Huh.
Oh, cool.
All right. So, Mira, does that conclude your thoughts? Like a rating, thumbs up?
I give it I guess a 4 out of 5. I mean, a 4 out of 5.
All right.
Oh, good.
I
thought
mean,
you were
to
gonna say
be
4 out of
fair,
10.
I had to see a lot of movies in theaters, so I have like a little summary of almost a lot of mostly Marvel movies and other stuff.
Yeah, I'd say it's, for me, well, I haven't watched too many films, but I'd say it's on par with Spider-Man Homecoming because that's another film where I had a lot of fun throughout and one moment that did kind of make me cry a bit.
Oh, Thor Ragnarok! I love that movie.
I haven't seen it,
Yep.
no spoilers.
Yeah, and also this is about we're talking about ponies right now,
Oh, yeah,
not
the-
some guy that tragically lost his majestic hair.
We know each other, friend from work.
All right.
That's not fun.
I actually like that joke.
Yeah, it was a good one. Anyway, no more Thor. Who wants to go next? Either Lefty Spirit, Trans, or myself. Any takers?
Mhm. Well, I could actually say, if you want me to start it, I'll do it.
Sure.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay. Well, I actually honestly thought that this was a great movie. I actually enjoyed, like some have mentioned, about the music as well as some of the scenes
Mhm.
that have actually been mentioned. The one thing I actually did enjoy, though, was actually seeing that Twilight was actually rescued by Derpy.
Yeah, that was a good.
Or should I say Muffins?
Oh yes, of course, Muffins.
Yep,
Oh,
Hasbro's
no,
gonna come down on us.
No, it's Silver Saucer Muffin Mare.
Yep. Although actually I think there was a rainbow streak before Twilight
Derpy- oh,
was
I'm sorry,
identified, and then there was
Muffins.
Derpy in a place. So maybe it was Rainbow and Derpy who rescued her. Tag teaming.
Yeah, because it was yeah. Derpy took the blast, and Rainbow Dash picked Twilight up.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, sorry, my nitpicking.
No, it's quite all right.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Derpy was the one that actually took the hit.
Took the blow, yeah, which
Yep.
was a great shout out.
Best pony.
Lil Shy would agree with that because I think Lil Shy made a post on Twitter saying Derpy is best pony because of that scene. She
Fair
saved the movie.
Right.
Without Derpy, there would have not been a movie.
Actually, I think that if he does Cinema Mare Sins for this movie, he takes 1 point off for Derpy's helping.
Hopefully, or he put a point on for Derpy not being in the film that much. It would be better being living death.
I might either like to see that it's like Derpy save. I can't believe I'm doing this. 1 point off.
Maybe. But yeah, please continue, Trans. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I actually enjoyed the part about the pirates as well.
Ah,
'cause
yes.
Yeah.
the way they actually brought out their true selves
Oh, yeah.
was actually a good notion to let everybody know that, hey, it's okay to be yourself.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
was a
like
bit-
that. It's a fight against, oppression and, sort of like in the American way to do it goes, sure, forget it. We're going to do our own thing. Why? Because we're pirates.
Yeah, it was a bit rushed, but it was obvious they didn't really enjoy working for the Storm King's FedEx anyway.
Also, I did like how Sayana Donna played the captain. It's like it works because this could also because of a little bit of my Marvel history.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana is awesome.
Yes, bro, huff me, Pyrex.
Boomf.
Oh yeah, if anyone wants to know, the bad joke counter is already at 4.
Oh, that's magnificent. All right,
Only
let's get some more bad puns.
We need to step it up.
All right.
Well,
I mean, there's not much I can do. I am a logo. I'm lacking, any limbs at all.
But you are a power.
Oh,
Well,
yes, I am the supreme ultimate power with very small itty-bitty livings.
Unlimited power.
But anyways, shouldn't we get back to the debut?
Yes. All right,
Yeah.
friends, any more thoughts?
well, the one thing that is actually good too is that they actually had it where more characters are actually in it that actually talk compared to being non-talking.
True.
Party favor.
Mhm.
No.
I've
Brian, no.
Brian, no!
Actually, I kind of find it funny how some of the voice actors had to come in for cameos. Like, case in point, I already imagine how Rebecca Strawberry felt like to have her singing. It's like, okay, Rebecca, we need you to just come in for a cameo. Is it for Sunset? No.
No, but that's my only good character.
Well, besides her singing Twilight.
Poor Sia.
Yeah.
Hi there.
All right,
Um,
anything else?
well,
Sorry for our interruptions.
Oh, it's all
I
right.
apologize.
The one thing I've actually think that I'm not really sure of, but I think that the logo that they actually have for the villains might have been a Transformer icon reference sort of thing.
Oh man, I didn't think of that. But that was kind of cool. I did like the logo and stuff, and the armor was very metallic and it was all plates and stuff. And then the ships themselves, I can sort of get see a Transformers vibe coming off of.
Yeah.
especially
Well,
the
considering
signal,
it's from
the
Hasbro,
logo itself actually has a kind of Transformers, Decepticons kind of design.
Actually, it does have that design. It does look almost like it could be from Transformers. I'm
Yeah.
actually looking at it right
And it's owned
now.
by Hasbro, so they don't have to worry about lawsuits.
Yeah, and I guess their airships were kind of similar to the
Heck.
Nemesis from Transformers Prime.
Equestria Girls even they had to mention the Transformers.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Oh
with
yes,
the
the
Pinkie Pie.
car.
Mm-hmm.
Or in Little's Patch Up, they had a reference to MLP with Blight's costume.
Oh yeah, the Blight's costume was Applejack, and it's funny because Rationally Ball is also the voice of Applejack.
yeah. Although
And Rainbow Dash.
In
I just
Rainbow
want
Dash.
to get Pete Cullen to voice a pony sometime because Peter Cullen's the best.
Dust Shield added a pretty good comment. They found the entire Storm King vibe sort of steampunky with I'm guessing with the air, the airships, and just
Zeppelins.
the Zeppelins and stuff. I feel that seems like a pretty steampunk sort of design. I can see that.
I also did like the birds airboat. It's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, the design for that was pretty amazing.
Yep, and then
Parakeets.
Rainbow kind of screwed up.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash. I'm sorry, but you done effed up.
Yeah,
It's
there was some mistakes were made. We wouldn't have a movie without them.
Well, at least you did get the pirates on their side for the climax.
And it was a big rainbow.
All right.
Well, at least it wasn't a double rainbow.
Oh yeah, that would trigger.
No.
That would trigger many a person, and it would trigger the entire fandom. And I think Josh Scorcher would then have to start a march towards Hasbro.
I'd actually forgotten that fanfic, but thanks a lot, Mirror.
At least it,
I'm sorry. I have to reference stuff in the fandom. I'm the person who talks about paralysis. and other
she's the
stuff.
fangirl.
but
of
that
fangirl.
one deserves not a bad joke, but just a sad trombone in general.
Oh boy. Alright, friends. Anything else to say?
The one favorite part of that I actually thought was my favorite part of the movie was when Fluttershy was being like a therapist to
Yep,
that
that
one
was-
villain.
Like I said, she will be our Dr. Wolf.
Yep, Fluttershy's best pony.
I mean, getting him to cry and that was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, that was a good joke.
It was better than just beating the poo out of the minion. She beat him by friend. Friendship.
Friendship is magic to bring others to crippling depression.
Instead of fatalities, friendship.
Mentality.
Woo.
Shall we get back to the review?
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
So
Trans is still up the bat.
other than that, I would actually say I'd give the movie like a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, that's a good rating.
Because it is a good movie, but there are some spots that actually
Nitpicks and
too
stuff,
obvious
like all good
that,
films.
You know, yeah.
Alright. Whew.
So,
That leaves me and left. I'm gonna die during this call.
okay. Yeah.
That leaves me and Lefty's spirit.
Shall I try Lefty Spirit?
Alright, how good are you at dropping your pitch down like an octave?
Okay.
I could, if you want, I can record over it and make it.
Yeah,
you
just
sound
start
deep.
playing an iMovie.
Well,
Give us like 30 minutes, guys.
well,
This will take a little while.
It'll be in Mir's hands.
You have no idea what would happen when I have a hands on
Yeah,
it.
and then she's like, Mira, you done? Yeah, and it's backwards.
it's high pitched instead of low pitched.
Like, Lefty says, do not try my voice. I will haunt you.
Sorry, Lefty. I'm gonna have to warn you. In the dents and mirror cracks, you have to be mirrorized because he's one sort of. It's
It was
also in
comedy,
it.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if it makes it feel better, my boyfriend sent it, so this means I don't
Yes,
really.
and I get. Too bad we didn't put the me bashing my head into the ground on repeat, because that would just be great.
I
Alright.
could do that. I could do that if you want.
Oh boy,
Guys, can I
that'd be
just-
scary. Alright,
Please let me try the.
yes, Pyrex, go ahead. A Lefty can't hurt you.
I just need to
Wait,
practice.
I will bombard you with NASCAR. Lefty, you're not even like in the right part of the planet, mate. How are you gonna drive those through the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah, besides that-
Also, that's nothing. Also, that I will get over that. I mean, you have to really try harder to get on my nerves or to show me something that I don't like.
I think we'll
Yep,
live. Anyway, Pat Rex,
Well,
let's give this a shot.
Yeah, but Lefty, this country has F1. That's way worse than NASCAR.
All right, Pat Rex, before you get literally everyone to kill us, can we please finish this review?
Okay, I just need a line to practice in. Hey there, I'm Mr. Left Turn, and NASCAR sucks.
Oh God!
Oh.
And I get the feeling
I
that
think-
we're all gonna die.
All right.
Oh,
I hope you guys enjoyed the stream because we're all gonna die in the next 20
Okay.
minutes.
Okay, I don't think I could hold up the impression, but let's thoughts.
He
Just
says boo.
All right,
What are you
moving
trying to
on.
do? Trigger him?
okay for that. I'm actually going to try the impression for as long as I can. Animation was gorgeous. The Toon Boom animation was very fluid, and the characters were wonderfully expressive. And I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I don't blame you. He has a
Yep.
very deep, majestic voice. Oh no, we've lost our blue.
That's
A
why I'm
moment,
going to.
a moment of silence.
That's why I'm gonna have fun doing mirrorizing that.
Yep. Although
All
maybe
right.
I'll just. Try.
You better not. I mean,
I'm
that's
hang
okay.
this chat with
I'll
more
be
Brody
fine.
concentrators throw over your face. Ah,
I'll be fine.
Lefty,
I'm
that's
not
evil.
angry
All right,
at all.
Hello.
all right. Anyway,
Although,
Pyrex, let's get a move on, shall we?
okay, I'll try my Optimus Prime voice. That's
Enjoyed the soundtrack. Open Up Your Eyes was very daunting, and Emily Blunt knocked it out of the park. Rainbow was beautiful and a very
I'm going
touching
to say
song.
really quick
when
before we continue the review. Hello.
not a
Alright.
fan, but she did a fantastic job. I found it involved and disturbing that slavery was seen as normal outside of Equestria, but dark in a good way for storytelling. After all, freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
I might have added that bit.
I'll admit the Storm King was underdeveloped, but he was so over the top and hammy that I enjoyed his on-screen presence. Liev Schreiber was fantastic. The story itself was played really safe, but it wasn't bad. The main six and Spike were all in character. I enjoyed the newer characters. Tempest was intimidating as
Intimidating as Tartar. What? Lefty, clarification, please. Again, the Storm King was so hammy, he was a blast. Kappa was a great smooth talker who redeemed himself from almost selling the main six and Spike into slavery. Skystar was so full of energy, like a sea pony Pinkie Pie. Oh yeah, I loved Skystar too, just me in character.
Alright.
Kristen Chenoweth sounded like she was having a ball playing Skystar. Queen Nova was alright, not much to say on her, but at least she was very authoritative. Captain Solano and the pirates were fun, and I thought Grubber was honestly good comic relief. One of my favorite parts was Capra's using Spike as a flamethrower at the end.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, his face was
Yeah.
so beautiful when he did that.
You're a
First-
fire-breathing dragon, right?
First, we have the Twi cannon. Now we got Spike as a flamethrower.
Well, technically,
Indeed.
Spike was already a lighter.
Oh wait, what season will it be when we get Pinkie Prime finally?
Oh, she'd probably be a cannon because she's already got one.
No,
Yeah, mate,
we
think
need a Pinkie
Galvatrons
Prime. We
and
have to have
Galvatrons
Pinkie
were already
Prime.
canon. But yeah,
Is it
sorry,
that?
just going back to Lefty's thoughts. I like Tempest's backstory. It was sad and sympathetic. Losing her horn and then her friends that were frightened of her is traumatic enough to screw anyone up. The pacing might have been rushed, but they were being chased by a dangerous enemy that turned the other Alcorns and poured Derpy into statues. Airships that were hot on the main six and Spike's tails. I can understand why the movie moved at such a fast pace. It's not the best animated movie I've seen, but it wasn't terrible at all. I enjoyed it enough to see it twice. Well, I kind of wish either Luna or Celestia actually got away at the beginning of the movie so that it would have a bigger role in the story and give them more development. At least Cadence actually did something by trying to cast a shield spell to protect her in her arms. Also, Twilight's face at the dinner table was one of the funniest bits of the film.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I love that face. It's like Rainbow, shut up.
Yeah, although I'm sorry that I couldn't maintain my left or my Optimus voices throughout all of the
It's okay.
playthrough.
Well, that's-
It's
alright.
difficult.
Oh yeah. Left clarified. He said scary as Tartarus meant as scary as Pony Hell. Oh, and he says he gives it a green flag rating.
Oh, green flag. Oh wow, I somewhat understand his color system. Green's good.
I already know about the NASCAR color flag system.
Yeah, I don't fully understand, but this isn't about NASCAR, so sorry, Lefty, but sit down.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll see you when I get back from the track.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this call, then realize all my friends are gone because I roasted everyone. It's gonna be like, oh,
Oh,
hi guys, and then everyone's like, hi, Laser, what's up?
yeah, green is not. Oh, he says green isn't his highest rating though. I've kind
It's
of
probably a
forgotten.
checker check. Wait,
Yeah, greenness is his highest. It's a checker flag, if I'm
but
right.
I think
Left
Pat
turn
Roy-
comment if it is correct.
He said it isn't in the chat.
No, if
Yeah, I'm
a
gonna say
checker flag
checkered is
is
best.
no, if it's checker flag is the highest.
I'm betting checkered's best.
Yeah, I was correct.
Like, what I can remember,
Alright, I
red
think-
means that there's something bad going on the track, and basically,
True.
okay, red's bad. I know yellow's like it's getting a little bit hectic,
Huh?
and green's basically everything's fine.
What?
Checkered flag is finish.
Yeah. Right. I think Patrick Roberry might be able to drop in for a bit. So until then, I think so that concludes Lefty. So I guess I'll go now. All right. For those of you that don't know, I'm the Laser Hawk, but I'm currently the Rift City logo because we need it to run the stream. So my thoughts of the movie, I thought it was really good. I unfortunately didn't get to the theater quite on time, so I missed the short that came before it. But I hear that was a good
Hanazuki.
Oh, I've
An
watched
interesting
all
way.
the episodes of Hanazuki.
Yeah,
Me
so it was an
too.
interesting way to start the film. So I only saw like the very end of it. So seeing the entire film, I really enjoyed the animation, and I'm not going to trigger Event Horizon by saying it was smooth. I like the animation because it was a lot more expressive. You could see the color in the eyes was better. It was like the irises. If you looked at their eyes, the coloring in their eyes was magnificent.
Yeah, they almost look like little like their eyes were like a little bit of marbles.
Yeah, it's just like what I said about Fluttershy. When she's like, "It's okay, want to talk about it?" I mean, when she did that scene, her eyes were.
No, Trance. It's more like this. He seems stressed. Want to talk
Oh, yeah.
about it?
Yeah, you
it's
seem tense. Yeah, you seem tense.
All right.
You really need a girl doing Fluttershy's voice.
Yeah. But as I was saying, the animation, it was super vibrant. The lighting was amazing. Just like the animation itself looked really good. I really enjoyed the film. It was excellent to see 2D animation on the big screen because I think this is the first time I've ever seen 2D animation on the big screen because I don't remember ever going to a theater and seeing a 2D animated film. Oh, also, hello, Patrick.
Hi.
Welcome to the former Clay Pony.
Patrick?
Well,
Oh, okay.
No camera.
Yeah, we're trying to do no cameras, if that's okay.
Yeah, no cameras, no presses. Stop the presses.
Patrick, you good?
Camera down
good.
this.
I can
cameras.
join you all the way from Scotland. From
Wait, could
Tony
you-
Scott here to talk about the movie.
Yeah. Oh wait,
Yeah,
could you
okay.
turn off the camera though? We're trying to do no cameras, just because it doesn't
Let me see if I can do that.
it doesn't broadcast well on the YouTubes. Is there any way? Okay, I'm just gonna continue.
Yep.
As I was saying,
Carry
the
on.
animation was just fantastic. It looked great. Like the lighting from the fire, the magic looked great, and like near the end there was like a big tornado and stuff. The storms look great. Just the animation itself, like we saw stuff that we'd never see in the show because it was way too advanced for the show to make, and it was just superb. I
Indubitably.
thought the plot, the story was pretty good. Though I have to agree with what people have said before. It did move from place to place pretty quickly. Some of the animation sort of stuck out of the ponies between the backgrounds because some of the backgrounds look almost realistic. So you just see like an animated pony sitting there. It looked a bit off. It wasn't until you got closer till you saw that the colors were a bit blander than real life and weren't as high definition. But it was still really good. I love just the way they moved around. It was great to see hippogriffs introduced to the show. I thought that was incredible. And I love the designs they did for the hippogriffs. Just the characters they added had great designs.
to quote Katie and Will, it's canon.
Well, sea ponies have been canon since G1. It's just being brought back into the
Oh,
show.
not canon
I have
since...
to agree with
no,
Laser.
not
because-
canon in G4. Each generation, or at least most of the generations, are held separately and aren't affected by the originals, by the previous generations. Thank goodness for that, or else G3 would have screwed up G4.
Dad,
Yeah,
I was
I don't-
talking
I
about
don't-
the hippogriffs.
Yeah, I don't want to
yeah.
see.
But
Yeah, I
I
don't want
do.
to see
I have to
them
agree with Laser because the animation is top notch and is one of the most underrated animations in my opinion because so many people are riffing on it and I've heard very
When's the
few
last time
people
you've
saying
seen a
how
2D
beautiful it
animated
is.
When's the last time you've seen a 2D animated film in the theaters? Decade,
I've
like a decade at least, because they've been so underpopulated. I'm hoping that because of the MLP movie's success, that it'll actually start bringing 2D animated films back to the big screen because we've had a 2D animation drought, and it's just sad because there's great 2D animated films, but they're not popular enough to be broadcasted in theaters.
It all depends if Disney wants to do 2D again. Because Disney,
Yeah.
it really, really does depend on Disney. Because Disney could be, we want to do 2D again, and if they do well, then the industry follows.
Well, we are seeing.
If MLP does well, people will go. It's not 2D. The fans.
Well-
it's more about the fandom. Where if it was more of Disney or something like that, or Pixar, who
Well,
did
we are
2D.
seeing- we are seeing a resurgence in anime popularity with stuff like Your Name in American cinemas, so that's kind
Oh, I
of.
really wanted to see Your Name.
Yeah, I have it on DVD. And I
Alright.
can't wait.
back to ponies.
If you ever get a chance, send me. If you ever if you ever come to America, for BronyCon one of these years, and if I go to, bring that movie with you.
And I'll try and bring a multinational DVD player as well.
All right.
Sorry.
Anyway, it's all right. That's fine. So back to ponies. The story, I liked how it moved. Like it quickly moved from place to place, and they didn't stay in a lot of places for very long. But it was nice to see how expansive and how much time they spent into these backgrounds. Like during the sky sequence, that was really good because like the clouds were really nice.
Does anyone know what the name of the town is actually now? What is the name of the town they visit? The first time
I think they mentioned the film, but it wasn't really memorable due to the fact that the town itself wasn't important. They were just trying to find the hippogriffs.
Yeah, Capel's more important.
Yeah, the name of the town is Cludge Town. They do say it. They do generally say it's an awful name for a town. Not sure why would you name it.
It's like with season 5. It goes, in our town. Oh yes, what is the name of the town? In our town. Yes, I'd like to know the name of the town. In our town. The name is irrelevant. It doesn't really contribute.
In our town.
Okay, we're not doing this right now. We don't have the time.
Well,
Okay.
to be fair, I'm surprised that we didn't hit Q&A yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to keep these to more review. So, as I was saying. Okay, wait. As I was saying,
have a Q&A and stuff like that at the end.
Well, yeah, we do that. Yeah, so I'm just trying
we'll keep the views for the first half, and then the last bit will be like a silly Q&A. So people who want to see the review can see the review, and if anyone stays long enough for Q&A and stuff, they can stay.
Yeah. So
let's go back to the film.
Moving forward, please. I enjoyed the film a lot, and I brought, as I mentioned, I brought 2 friends who weren't bronies that don't watch the show. I don't even think either of them has seen a full episode, and they genuinely enjoyed the movie. My only concern is I think the movie was significantly better than any episode. So I think that people that don't like the show can see the movie and enjoy it. But if you enjoy the movie, I can't guarantee that you'll enjoy the TV show because the movie.
I disagree. The
movie was above and beyond the TV show. The TV show is good, and I really enjoy it, and it has great development. And if you are okay with sitting through the long run of grinding through a season or 2 to enjoy the characters, but if you're sort of like an impatient kind of person, which is the modern era, and you don't want to devote a ton of time to MLP, if you watch the movie, you can get the basic idea of the show, and it's a lot more enjoyable, I think, than watching standard episodes.
A person I've been recently watching named Smurflog, I had to marathon the whole series of MLP just to get ready for the movie.
Huh.
But I have to disagree with you later because it does sum up bits of the show, but it doesn't sum up some bits.
No, I didn't say it summed up the show. I'm saying if you enjoy the movie, if you enjoyed the movie, there's no guarantee that you'll enjoy the show because I think the movie was better than a majority of the episodes, if not all of the episodes.
Yeah,
that's not really fair to say because the episodes and the film are separate things. Comparing one episode to the film,
well, it's called it's a comparison, sir. You don't compare things that are exactly the same, or else there won't be anything to compare.
Yeah, I guess
sort of personally, that's on the equal level of it. Like you compare episode with episode because they're both the same length and both have the similar tools and things. But the movie has one.
But what I'm saying is the point of the film was to help draw in the point of the film was to help help the people that enjoy the show enjoy something like the show, but even better, and to potentially draw in more viewers.
See, I would only the MLP film is the only thing to compare the MLP film, the new MLP film, is either A, the original, or B, the Equestria Girls, because they're the only things that are on its level. Because the show is on a different level. It's on a different money level. It's on a different story level. It's a bit different. It's completely different
but it's built off of the same basis. And yes, I know the movie was made to be better than the episode, which it thankfully succeeded. But I think Pat Rex, you wanted to make a comment?
Yeah, 2 things. I do kind of agree with you, Laser, but it's not due to the quality of the film. It's due to the scale. It's much larger in scale than most of the slice of life episodes from the show. So
yeah, they have more time to develop. It's something I capitalized on earlier is the movie. It was able to, like, when Twilight gets upset in the film, the only reason they haven't done it in one of the episodes is because they don't have the time within an episode to do it. In the film, they had plenty of time to draw it out to truly build up to this moment, so it didn't seem forced.
Yeah, plus it's easy to compare the film to the show since same characters, same-ish stories, and I compare the Transformers films unfavorably to some of the Transformers shows, so
Well, to be honest, I did say that when we were comparing Twilight's Stealing the Pearl to at least Crusher Girls. Twilight didn't, like when Twilight went to Crusher Girls, she didn't, decide to get the crown. But you already made a good reason on why she kind of did that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
out of desperation and her frustration that had grown throughout the film.
yeah, the situation in Equestria Girls was never as dire as in the film.
Yeah.
Mostly
Well-
because
Except for maybe potentially, having teenagers invade. Let's see, the first one was teenagers invading, which really isn't a problem because I don't know if you guys know about teenagers, but they were lazy. They're really lazy.
exactly.
Aren't
Yeah, that's
half
how
of
to
us,
train
aren't
an
half
army.
of us teenagers?
And you're saying we're not lazy? Are you saying I'm not lazy? I find that an understatement. I am a
Babe.
very lazy person.
Babe, I work on scripts while even when I'm not even doing work.
Okay,
Yeah, but
believe
actually-
me, I literally am standing around and moving
Okay.
around playing an instrument.
Well, that's okay, Blue. You're the minority. The minority that's actually productive.
And
Because I know you have like a super tight schedule and you do stuff all the time. But like your stereotypical teenager is not like a menacing workforce.
yeah, unless they get paid, then they won't do work.
Yeah, but anyway, getting
yeah,
sidetracked
if
left, right, and center.
Yeah, teenagers
we should go back to
basically
the movie.
don't come from
Yeah.
Pyongyang and not threatening.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I think sort of closing thoughts. I think the film was really good. Again, as I mentioned, I brought people that don't even watch the show and they still enjoyed it. So I think this film was definitely a great way for Hasbro to branch out. And I really hope that this 2D animated film will help bring other 2D animated films into the public and into theaters. And I'd actually be down for a sequel if it helps bring forth more 2D animation and lives up to the standard of this film. And in fact, if they reuse some characters from this MLP movie to make a sequel, that'd be awesome because I'd love to see these characters more fleshed out because characters like Capper and Tempest, those are two big ones. Capper, I think I can see why he's loved by the fans, but I feel like he was a bit too quick, and most of his fame comes from the fact that he had a good voice actor, not necessarily his character himself. He
Well,
just looks good and
he has
sounds
a-
good.
yeah.
I think that's what drew a lot of attention to him.
Yeah,
And then
they-
Tempest had a pretty good Tempest had pretty good development. Also rushed at the end, but convincing enough. So if we could see these characters more fleshed out, along with the hippogriffs, if we can see like a sequel about the hippogriffs, that would be awesome. But overall, I say like a 9 out of 10, thumbs up. It was really good. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's probably out of theaters at this point. But if you can see it either in theaters or maybe when it goes on DVD or the
I
library,
recommend seeing it in
I'd say
theaters 'cause it looks
I would
good.
highly
It's gonna-
recommend seeing it because it was definitely worth watching.
I highly recommend seeing it in theaters because you get the.
The
I think
theaters
as
would
soon
definitely-
as you get in DVD, you're going to lose some of the scale. You're going to lose some of the
Content.
Tell me
scenes.
about it. When you go see Thor Ragnarok and like
Oh, it's definitely worth seeing in theaters. I saw it in theaters. It was
Yeah,
great.
I still need to.
Yeah, highly
I don't plan
recommend.
on watching it.
All right, understandable.
Back to ponies. Back to ponies.
But yes, I believe Patrick, you have yet to go. It is your turn. You are up to bat. So give us a description of what you thought about the film.
I really love the film, despite Kappa. Even though a lot of people like Kappa, I think he's an undeveloped good idea. He's a premise that I want to see
I definitely agree.
seen in MLP, where he's a trickster that is like he's like the kind of like a rogue trader, like a Dow boy, if you understand that kind of.
Yeah, and I think we see a bit of that with the whole cake thing, and like he says, "Oh, if you want to tell the king that he's not gonna get his thing, fine. I'm not the one gonna get in trouble for it." Like he was good at the end of the film. Like he was like a good fighter. He was deceiving. who's who's a trickster, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
MLP, they made the perfect kind of film for MLP. It's a journey film. It's not about the ending.
It's about how you get there.
Yeah, it's how you get there. It's people, even though the spoilers were everywhere, I don't think that really ruined the film too much because knowing it is a very predictable
Because
film.
you didn't know the
Its biggest
order, you
weakness
didn't
is
know the purpose.
you can
it was
kind of
good.
see where it is going, even though it has it has some really interesting twists and turns, but it's still the main premise of it is sort of predictable. As soon as you see the villain, you go, you're gonna do that with it, and like
Yeah.
I kind of called what was gonna happen to Tempest as soon as I saw. I was like, yeah, she's gonna be redeemed, isn't she? And I know it's a bit. I love Tempest now, and I do hope she gets shown a bit more. But is it a bit annoying that every single villain gets redeemed? And I get it's friendship is magic, but we have no more villains anymore. We have like one left, and that's it. We're running out of villains by this point. If we keep
Well,
yeah,
thankfully the
there's like
sirens haven't been redeemed at all because
Yeah, but they're not useful. They're not gonna do anything unless they make like a gag and like, oh no, the siren gag's gonna get you.
Well, Chrysalis is still out there.
Yeah,
and
Chrysalis is
T-Rex
like the
could
only
be
good
back.
villain now, and I understand there's like a complaint with Hasbro, the fact that a lot of the villains keep getting redeemed. I think what happens with that is like logically thinking of the villains, like most of them come back for this big fight and they spend so much time preparing. So to just come back and then get wrecked in like a day is kind of like demotivating, and then you really question whether or not it was worth it. So I can sort of see where Hasbro's coming from, and also
I
don't
think the
forget
Storm
Hasbro's
King
trying
was
to
the
push-
most underused
Hasbro is
villain
pushing
in
the Hasbro's
Storm-
about morals and stuff, and they're pushing morals such as people can be redeemed and forgiven. So they redeem a lot of villains is because if the villain doesn't convert or doesn't accept the new ways, then what did you learn?
Well, at least they did show with Chrysalis, not everyone can just be redeemed with an open open friendship.
Yeah, but in that film,
everyone's
they
saying that
redeemed a
Tempest
lot
is
of-
the
they
main villain,
redeemed
and
the
that's kind of the
changelings.
joke of
They
the
redeemed most of the changelings. So friendship still helps is with forgiveness
changing
and
Civil
helps
War.
people.
Changing Civil War. Totally not happening. Totally not happening.
Yeah, but and with the show is they redeem villains, because if the villain isn't redeemed, what's the takeaway from the episode for children who think friendship's supposed to be the answer? If they see friendship doesn't help people and forgiveness doesn't help people, how is that a good message for kids?
Well,
Like,
if you fight
realistically, it won't always work, but we're trying to build this idea. Hasbro's trying to, at least story-wise, they're trying to build the idea that friendship and being cooperative, being kind and caring with other people solves problems. And in an ideal world, it does. The MLP is trying to teach children how to act in an ideal world.
I'm completely okay with that. I'm completely okay with them focusing more on story than say the villain, because everyone jokingly says Tempest is the best villain, but she's not the main villain. She's the
Yeah,
side
that's
villain.
true. It was
That is-
Storm King.
it's-
Storm King didn't
It's
really
the
do much
Storm
of
King.
anything.
He gets so little time, people forget he's even in the film. He gets
Well-
killed off, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay."
No,
Yeah,
people didn't
the
forget
Storm-
it.
yeah, Tempest was the villain. Like, Storm King was quote unquote by definition the main villain, but everyone
I
knows
thought
Tempest was the one that was developed. She did things. She was going out and trying to stop the protagonist. The Storm
Yep.
King sat in a comfy chair with popcorn and soda and watched things happen.
Yeah, well, it's like Vader and the
When he
Vader
got
and
the cane and started to change things, all I wanted was just to see Discord just go to him and be like, "Really?
Yeah, get
I
wrecked.
can just
mate.
do this by clicking my finger. You
Yeah,
have
just
nothing."
Taps his finger. Your face is a marshmallow.
Well, I see it like
Princess Rarity.
yeah, it's
But the one thing I surprisingly liked was Grubber, the assistant to Tempest,
Oh, yeah.
because
Michael Pena.
I expected to hate him. I really did not like the idea of a comic
here, wait. I'm
sidekick, because I've always never liked it. And they actually made him work, and it's like, how did you make this work? This never normally works. It's like,
Are your nails painted pink?
yes, but still.
Hey, we're
Ooh, nice hat.
Carrying on, Grubber is like really not in it a lot, but he does make a good impact, and he makes a lot of comedy funny. There's a lot of good jokes. There's a few weak jokes like the hungry hippo jokes, which made me hit my head on the table so hard I accidentally bled myself.
Oh,
That was so bad. It's like, oh god, the pain. I don't know
Well,
which is
that's
worse, the pain from my head or the pain from that joke.
Well, that's your fault for being a Nana.
I know, but I love my favorite thing is we're gonna have an argument in a second where we're gonna all argue which is the best song from the film, and no one's gonna agree for 5 minutes or maybe even longer, because they're all every single song from the film could be considered an amazing song itself. And the weird thing is, the film has more songs than season 7 as a whole. Season 7 has less songs than the film.
yeah. How many songs were there in season 7? I completely forget.
6.
6 songs?
6 songs, and there's 7 in the film.
Oh.
Someone might be
Get 6 songs.
Well, 2 of
because
those
the
are
show is more focused. We'll get onto season 7 when we get onto it, but we're talking about the film. I was just comparing that the film had more songs.
Well,
Because
1.5 of those songs were in the credits.
True.
We do not
Oh,
count the
I
credit
like-
songs.
I did like Off to See the World.
I didn't count the credit song. If you counted the credit song, it'd be 8 songs. You're forgetting the first song of the film. That's the most forgotten song. The one that gets instantly played and nobody remembers.
Although,
Nobody sings.
can someone hold my beer? Because I need to make a stand for
Sure,
a villain
I can hold
overhated
it.
villain. Because
Let's
I
go.
loved this. I need to defend Storm King.
Okay. Give it a shot.
Okay, I'm always.
Well, people say, oh, he's not the main villain. Well, it's kind of like Vader and the Emperor. You have Tempest there to be the henchman enforcing his rule, being
Oh,
really
yeah,
badass. And then you have him just being giddy with power and crazy and funny. Plus,
Oh,
But the Emperor had development.
well,
Yeah,
if
that's a good point.
yeah, well, plus you have Tempest to be the
Darth
very,
Vader
character. And
to
The issue is Pat
the
Rex
Emperor-
is kind of. I actually kind of agree with Pat Rex
Yeah,
because if you know the issue is his
Yeah.
development in the comics, and it's the one weakness of the film. Some
well, I haven't read them.
of the best bits of the film are actually in the comics. They
Oh,
crap,
go
I
they
just
go
set
into
up.
a bit more. They go into a bit more about Tempest.
Yeah.
They go a bit more into a few other things.
Oh,
I
and
don't.
also it turns out that Shadow King has the 4
Storm
fall
King.
breaking powers.
oh yeah. Well,
Well, okay,
I-
wait. Can I make
I-
a counterclaim that Storm King's not good like the Emperor? Can I make a counterclaim about that?
he's not as good as the Emperor, but what little screen time he
Wait,
got.
but there's something I want to talk about. You see, the Storm King, though he's kind of like the Emperor, he's not nearly as good, and for one reason. The Emperor had the means to do things on his own. Storm King did not. Storm King had followers, but he literally had no way to enforce it. In fact, he could have been overthrown extremely easily. The Emperor is a Sith, so he has the ability to take charge. If someone were to conspire against him, the Emperor could deal with them. The Storm King couldn't kill anyone until he had the magic he was trying to get. The Emperor had the ability to crush resistance and take out anyone in his way. The Storm King was relying completely on his minions to do all of his work,
Well,
and he would be incapable of doing any of it on his own.
That actually
Well,
brings up a good question, though.
Yeah.
How come it seems like some of the villains that are actually supposedly villains when they first start out and that, how come it seems like some of them are weaklings and that like they don't have any power of their own?
Yeah, but I kind of feel
Tempest
like
is like the most powerful villain. One is potentially a powerful villain. We just never get to see it.
I kind of feel like Storm
She
King
has
did have.
she has so much potential and power. She just never gets to show it.
I kind of feel like
Yeah.
Storm King is more powerful than was shown in the film before he got the staff because
Well,
he must have had power to maintain his empire. Plus, he said to Tempest when they first called that if she didn't get Twilight's magic, her horn wouldn't be the only thing that was broken, and Tempest
Wait.
seemed legitimately
Yeah.
scared.
No,
Sticks and stones may break
snapper,
my
like
bones, but
Bane.
words will never hurt me.
No, but Robbery,
Rex.
Tempest looked terrified when he said that, and that's Tempest, who was usually very stoic.
Okay, I suppose so. But again, odds are the way he would do that is through his minions, not himself.
Yeah, plus he's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why don't he actually have decent powers?
Maybe
Let me
because
ask
a
you a
lot of the
weird
villains
question.
are people
Is-
that have the knowledge to gain power. They're the people that have the knowledge or the ability. Such as like there's a bunch of like comic book characters that aren't really powerful, but they know the means to harness or access or have the ability to gain tremendous power.
yeah, Storm King's kind of like
For instance, there was
Talking
a
about
character-
Storm.
there was a character in like Hellboy, and he didn't really have, he was just a normal human, but he had visions and had the ability to become godlike, which he then did. It's not, these people don't have to start with power, but they have to know how to gain power. Loki,
that's-
for example, from the event, from Marvel Universe. Loki's really
No,
not
you're
powerful.
talking about the Norse god.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Loki isn't really powerful himself. He has the way to manipulate people and he knows how to get power. For instance, his staff that used to have an Infinity Stone in it. He had the means to acquire power.
Yeah, plus Storm King, the plan to take over Canterlot, the grenades that were able to take out the Alicorns, that was all him. He was clearly an effective planner. He won by the 10-minute mark of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But only because of Tempest.
Well, he probably could have
Yeah,
lobbed the
that's-
grenades himself if he were there, or left it to his minions. Tempest just did it.
Yeah,
while
again,
looking
but
cool.
the Storm King's, I'm sure he's probably a strong guy, but he's not super developed in the fact that we don't know how he gained this power or how he's able to like crush resistance and maintain power.
And they're never going to use him again because they've killed him off. And this film
Yeah.
has a really, really high kill count. Like, it has it's in double figures. And you're going to go, wait a minute, what? There's only one kill. No. Spike has
I want to
kills
apologize
like
really
a
quick.
lot of. Spike
Oh,
kills
yeah, they're
8
probably
characters
dead.
in one scene.
Which was,
Yeah,
I'm
although-
which
not
was
even
great.
joking.
No,
Spike
my
is
little
used as a
sister just
flamethrower,
barged
and
in.
Oh, so,
He
Okay.
literally
Although-
burns half an army to death.
yeah, I actually really enjoyed
They're
that.
running on fire.
I really enjoyed
Fire.
seeing that scene.
Quite literally on screen.
Yeah,
Dude.
with the flamethrower scene, I thought that was really amazing because you don't see many.
I thought it
kids-
just made Spike into a brutal murderer.
Yeah,
It's like, Spike, you're one of the most brutalist murderer in the world.
Wait,
You
Patrick.
arsehole.
Patrick, you don't
Why are
see
you guys
many.
talking?
You don't see many people set on fire in kids' films. So I thought that was impressive that Hasbro was able to get by with that.
I know. It seemed very odd that Spike is the most brutal murderer now because of it.
Uh,
Spike, the very useful flamethrower.
Yeah,
Right
okay.
now, from
Wait,
any
wait,
Scottish
Blue was trying to
man.
make a comment.
Who's
maybe I'm-
actually going to be the next weapon? That would be a good question.
Well, yeah,
Twilight was
probably.
first, now it's Spike, must be Aloysius.
All right.
Yeah, but
Makes
still,
sense. Makes
Okay.
sense.
Get-
Wait, Blue's trying to say something.
While you guys have been talking, I've just literally been sitting here sketching something.
What?
Okay.
well, maybe I'm just a little biased because Storm King's basically how I'd act if I were an evil mastermind.
Okay.
I was sketching
we're-
Songbird.
Night
We're
day,
just
night
so
day.
lucky that you're on our side.
Well, I
Indeed
mean,
you are.
even if Patrick turned against us, we still have a good fighting force. I am literally space. I could just make a black hole and throw him in.
No, actually,
And I'm an alicorn.
And I could teleport out.
no, actually, if you're like Ego, then you are so powerful.
Yeah,
For
I'm
two-
literally. I am. Remember, I am an astral being part time.
Although, Laser, friendly tip, if you be kind to your son, if you ever have a son, don't be
Like,
cruel
I
to
mean,
your son.
why should I be kind to my son other than the fact that I would thus be their father? Like, what do I have to worry about them becoming like a demigod and killing me? Because that happens in mythology a couple
Yeah,
times.
probably.
And what,
Don't-
and what if
don't-
it's a girl?
Guys, can we
first?
get back onto the movie? Can we
Yeah.
get back to the-
Patrick, do you
Well,
have
if
any
you have
other?
Really, really off topic.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Don't squeeze
But regarding
don't squeeze
the
their Walkman.
film and kill counts and stuff like that, have you talked about the best scene of the film, which is Fluttershy talking to one of the guys? And
Yeah, we
basically
talked
like,
about
So
that.
many
We mentioned
times.
it.
I'm surprised she didn't do. I'm surprised she didn't
Yep.
do what I thought she was going to do. So, and I was surprised she didn't do this. And it's good to be helping.
Yeah,
I just
Laura
wanted to
made
say
the
that.
analogy.
No, that would be copywriting. Doc has Cause
Well, no, you can't copyright, dude. Okay,
Actually-
one, they could use it, but they wouldn't do it because they'd be too meta, and they're like not supposed to rip things straight out of fandom.
But it
And
fits
two,
so perfectly in that
Dr.
scene.
Wolf
though. It
did
just
not
fits
copyright
so
that phrase.
perfectly.
Dr.
It's like-
Wolf does not own rights to
There
that
will be
phrase.
one that
I don't
you could
care. He
use,
still
but
wrote that. He still says that like nonstop.
I know, but it doesn't mean he owns it. That's like I say the Rift City a lot because I help run the Rift City. That doesn't mean I own the Rift City.
But
And I
Mira-
say stay
Mira
true to you a
understands why
lot,
that-
but that doesn't mean I don't.
Mira's now going to
that doesn't
go,
mean
oh
I own the
gosh,
phrase
that
stay
scene
true to
is
you.
just going to make me
Exactly.
think of Dr. Wolf every
Okay,
time I see it now.
fine. You're right.
there is one that they could use, but it be more of comedy rather than actual effectiveness.
What would that be?
The stare.
Oh, Fluttershy gives everyone the death stare. They all have heart attacks.
Also, I preemptively apologize for a joke made in the comments.
I'm not even looking at the comment section at the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, that was okay. I could. Okay. Oh well.
That is my
Guys,
headcanon
but
possible.
Bad
but
Pat
it's
Rex.
That's my
Expecting,
headcanon.
expecting your poison. Later on, Miracrax to be a pitch 3.
Hello, comment section. I'm not looking at you, but you're really, really, you're really
Alright.
good today.
All right.
Good tonight,
Patrick,
whatever
any more
time it is,
comments
wherever
about
you
Patrick? Any more comments on the film?
I am really hoping the film becomes its own universe like Star Trek, because I think that would make it better.
It's
No, can I explain why? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
expecting people to watch the show and the film
Is
and
not
have them
likely.
connected would be a bit unfair, not just on fans but also the kids and everyone else.
Like the
having
Equestria
this
Girls
film be
series, the
its
Equestria
own-
Girls series will never be fully canon.
No, but like having the films be their own thing, like Equestria Girls, maybe semi-linked, but not really. You don't
References in
have to watch it.
Yeah,
in a
there
sense.
should be a way so you can see like little bits that could converge between them, like evidence that says they could be connected, but doesn't guarantee that. Like there should be evidence that the two things can be connected, but there shouldn't be anything where they directly intertwine with another, or else that's going to get complicated to keep up with.
Basically, all I want is like the end cutscenes of the Equestria Girls, because every end cutscene has like been a little thing that's to do
Like
with
snippet.
the actual show, but
Yeah.
it's not too big that it ruins it, but it's enough that makes you go,
That it could be
"Oh."
possible.
We don't
It
need
could
a
be
Michael
possible,
Tony
but it
Bolton first, though.
means that their own things become. I think that makes it better, because if the show and the film become semi-separate things like Equestria Girls, it means it can be a bit more. It could be it's allowed to be a bit more different, where the show can still be slice of life, because I love it being slice of life,
Uh-huh.
and I don't mind the film being adventure, because that makes sense, because the film being adventure makes sense because it's got the budget to be adventure.
Yeah.
Where the show being slice of life means we get to make more of these characters we still need to learn more about.
Yeah,
Well,
and
the
then
show's-
learning more morals and stuff, and something that
Occasional
kids
adventure.
can take away from the show.
Yeah, but the show still has adventure episodes like Daring Donna or the two parts. They're just smaller scale than the film.
We'll get to the two-parter eventually, Pat Rex, and why I hate it. But
Well, I was
All right.
we'll talk about that another day. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
okay.
the film tonight.
I was
So,
I wasn't-
Patrick, any other thoughts about the movie?
The one
If not, then
thing-
just give us like a rating. If you,
I rate it about 85 out of 100. My one question is to you, Laser. When you showed your friends, how many questions did they ask?
oh,
like your-
like
the people
my
who
two
didn't-
friends that weren't Brian's. Oh, like they didn't really ask much questions. We just sort of talked about it as we were waiting to get picked up. I was like, we talked about like the characters a bit and like the story mode, and like we didn't go super in depth because there wasn't what I liked about the movie. It was standalone from the show, so you don't have to see the show.
But
to
I think
see-
I think the show makes the film better. If you know the
Oh,
show,
the show makes it better, and it's
the
definitely
Pinkie Pie scene with Twilight.
yeah.
even
I think the
stronger
show
because
was,
that breakup is just even more emotional.
yeah. I
When
think
I was in the theater, all the
movie.
kids, everyone just went really
Ah,
quiet. Even the noisy
Let's
kids.
hope he likes this.
Yeah, but anyway, like as I was saying, like they just genuinely enjoyed the film. They thought the characters were fun. They enjoyed the animation because I think everyone that sees a movie can agree it's fantastic to the animation. So they loved the animation. They thought the characters were really fun. they just enjoyed. They just genuinely enjoyed the film. They didn't question it a lot. They just genuinely enjoyed the film, and we like had a fun conversation about the cool bits in the film.
My favorite song is One Small Thing. What are your guys' favorite songs from the film?
Well, Robbery, in terms of your opinion, it's time you learned a lesson.
What?
Time that you understand.
Oh, come
Open
on.
your eyes,
Open
Pablo.
up,
Okay.
Tell.
The best song. Okay, I can't
I
sing.
like Rainbow. That's the only one that I like. Rainbow's the only one I can remember like bits of it. And I actually enjoy re-listening to. That's the only song I've actually gone
Time
after
to
the
be
movie,
awesome.
gone back to re-listen.
I'm the
Well-
friend that you need.
Oh wow, because that's Cappers.
No,
got
because
two,
I
actually.
like because for me it's because of the tango vibe of it. As someone who does enjoy a little bit of Latino
Alright.
music, I do
And it
enjoy
has Capper.
I ship
Has
Merrick's
Capper and
Kappa.
his beautiful voice.
I ship Merrick's Kappa.
Anyways,
Blue, what's your favorite song from the film?
I've actually got two.
Okay.
Ooh.
One of them you can already tell because of my profile picture. Rainbow by
You,
Sia.
you might want to explain it because some people might not understand.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Rainbow by Sia. And the
Yeah.
second song is right at the very beginning with the intro. It's the intro mixed with Pony's Got the Beat. Because it's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of based on one of my favorite songs by the Go-Go's.
Oh yeah, that was like a. I found that was interesting. They actually made a parody song for the intro.
That's the one
Pony's
song
got
that
the beat,
that
Pony's
is-
got the beat, Pony's got the beat.
Do you know the funny fact about
Pony's
that
got the
song?
beat.
The fact is, they lost the license to it a few weeks after they made the film.
Oh my god, that's
Rather than making the
hilarious.
film. So it's the reason why it's not on the
Oh,
album.
that's amazing.
That cover isn't on the CD. It's the only song that's in the film that isn't on the album CD.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's actually kind of hilarious. It's like
So
I just
then-
lost rights to it.
So then, how do we find the song?
Just YouTube search it.
Okay,
Odds are. Someone's probably got the
Hans,
movie.
what's your favorite song from the film?
Well, I actually have two of them. Time to Be Awesome was a good one, as
Oh
well,
yeah, I agree.
as well as the one that Pat Rex actually mentioned.
Open up.
See,
Well,
See, I
Open
love
Up-
that song, but the
You-
thing is, taken
you
out of
open up
context,
your
it just
eyes.
doesn't work.
Yeah, that's
Open Up
true.
Your Eyes is a great song. Just
It's
out
not.
of
It's a good
context,
song, but not
you need the
standalone.
context for it to be good. That's the issue. If you're watching the film, it's a great song. If you're not watching the film, it
Not so
sort
good.
of doesn't work. It's still a great song, but just doesn't. It loses some of its effect for some reason. I
another
don't
song.
know why, but if that makes any sense to anyone,
Oh,
it kind of
another
loses.
another song. Sorry, Patrick, you go first, and then I'll add another song I like.
Désolé.
I know you can carry on. I've talked that said my bit.
Okay, so another song I like is One Small Thing.
Same as me. I love that song. It's Pinkie Pie's best song of the show. Of
Oh.
all time. Pie's best song of all time. Because here's the thing. I think it's better than the Smart song. I think it's better than every Pinkie Pie song. Because it's just Pinkie Pie in the most upbeaty song in the world. And it's like, I'm just super happy. I can't not
was a good
smile
song.
to the song. It makes me
He
simply Small can't song- that is an important song in Broly history. This song, I think, could be the next one. I think One Small Thing is potentially going to be the best Pinkie Pie song for a very long time to come, and I think it might.
By the way, Calicio, one of our friends, pointed out to me that in One Small Thing, there's an OC that has one of the characters that has his hairstyle.
Well, I mean, well, that's gonna happen eventually.
yeah.
I mean, like, there's only so much originality in the world. They obviously won't be the same, but they'll probably look similar. So, I mean, I have yet to find someone with my hairstyle because I literally made like a bush with spikes.
A
Actually,
little weird
for me-
question. What's everyone's thoughts about Fluttershy and Applejack being kind of sidetracked in the film? Like the two characters that kind of got ridiculously sidetracked.
They still have their moments to shine though, like Fluttershy with the Henchman and Applejack just generally kind of being the most stable pony there who didn't screw up anything.
But
So
they don't do Applejack especially doesn't do anything, and Fluttershy only gets that one scene, but everything else Fluttershy does is just say yay to everything. She doesn't.
Yay.
You could easily take her out the film. Really, you could have took both of them out the film, and they wouldn't have made any difference. You would have lost maybe one good scene, but Applejack, in all honesty, does very little in the film, and Fluttershy completely gets forgotten. And I understand because the film is meant to be focusing on Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie. Rarity is meant to have an importance with Kappa, but it's kind of
well, it's difficult.
forgotten about halfway through.
Well, it's difficult
Um,
balancing the old characters with the new, so I understand why some of them had to.
Yeah, I kind of understand well, but it's still annoying to see that Fluttershy had a very weak season 7, and now she's been given the least time in season.
Well, don't forget she's
In
had
the
a
film.
lot of attention. Like, I think what they're doing with the seasons and now with the film is they're basically rotating their attention. Season 1, Twilight heavy. Season 2 moves into more the other main thought. Season 3, back to Twilight. Season 4, Twilight, and then a lot of focus on her friends. Season 5, Starlight focus.
Well,
No,
Six.
not really.
Oh, season
Like-
that season. You're thinking of season 6 and season 7.
Sorry, yeah, season 7 have been well. I think season 6 was a bit of Starlight. Was season 6 when Starlight was good? Was that one season?
To be fair, a lot of people are saying season 7 is when Starlight was at her best.
I think
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
I'd agree. It was more Starlight focused, but it was really even just more background characters. Like they developed a lot of characters that weren't touched on, such as Big Mac, Trixie, Maud, Sunburst. Like
We'll get
they-
into this when we talk about the season as a whole.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Stream, but
Well, we're talking
but
about
regarding the
season
film, the main 6 are really good except those 2 characters.
Okay, yeah,
Spike gets
they
sidetracked,
did
but then
have
again,
a lot of
that's
other
Spike, what you
characters pop
expect.
in. So yeah, I
Although
can
he has
see
the
that.
best kill count in the film.
Well, if there's a sequel, they can have Fluttershy and Applejack take more of the focus as
Yeah.
as to balance out this one.
Yeah, they had like Apple Bloom and them in the cages in that one scene.
So mortified by that. He was like,
Oh yeah, that was a pretty dark sequence. Again, I'm really impressed with how much like dark stuff Hasbro was able to get away with this film because I think that's really a show that
I'm
think
surprised Sia didn't sing Electric Heart when she was in that cage.
Elastic Heart, not Electric Heart. It's elastic.
Close enough, you got the joke, though.
Yeah, but anyway, I think what's nice
It's
about
literally this.
what's nice about the with MLP as of late is that they're growing the audience. They're expecting the audience to be more mature, either because they're growing up with the audience, or the fact that they just expect people to have like thicker skin, which I really appreciate because looking back at older films like Back to the Future, it had cursing and it was still a children's film.
wait,
So it's
what?
really just all the Back to the Futures.
Oh yeah.
They
Well,
had
that's-
cursing in
that's
it, but it was
yeah.
acceptable at the time. So I'm really hoping that modern society will become like I know the modern society has grown tremendously over the past few years, and it's gotten a bit sensitive. I think so. It'd be really nice if media would start reintroducing
You have
stronger
Steven Universe
themes.
doing pretty well stuff that's been very questionable, but did it with lots of tact. MLP's done a lot of good stuff with tact now.
Exactly. I think I like how it's becoming more mature.
Yeah, it's not just MLP. There are other shows doing it.
Well,
Yes.
to flashback-
Steven Universe being one.
Oh,
Although to
Steven
flashback
Universe
to
is a
another-
prime example.
Although to flash back to another Hasbro show film, the Transformers movie in the 80s had the S word said, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
appropriate
and
that this
it-
one might be
it
testing
was-
waters a bit.
As it was going
The
through.
next MLP film is directed by Michael
Yeah.
Bay.
Oh,
No.
Who knew?
Hasbro's too smart to let Michael Bay corrupt it like that.
I don't know. I actually would like to see an MLP film directed by Michael Bay.
And then
just to see
T-Rex
how
came
they-
back, so we can have
just
a
to see a
Dragon Ball
pony
Z
film with
fight.
explosions, just for the sheer joke of it. Because if it's cheesy, it could get away with it.
Well, at least-
Exploding
MLP
lasers.
film, like,
through-
no one
Could
That's
actually
just-
work in a sense because MLP is cheesy in a sense, and cheesy explosion ponies is just a funny idea that could actually work if you did
Well,
it
the only-
right.
Well, the only reason Bay didn't Oh, the only way Bay hasn't ruined Transformers is because he's been kept away from the cartoons and the comics. So,
Okay.
no, he needs to stay away.
But anyway, is that
You have to admit, Pat Rex, when he first did Transformers, and when he first did Transformers, he did add something new to it.
What?
And then
I'm talking about the first ever, the new first ever Transformers film he actually made was actually quite good.
And then the sequel sucked. So,
And
no,
that's- yeah, I would agree
Okay.
with that.
guys?
Look, when he
Get
gets-
off topic with Michael Bay here.
Yes, I.
Don't make me play Felicity Scrooge.
All right, please don't, because this is being broadcasted. Anyway,
I
is that
know.
everyone's thoughts? Oh, hello, dog, who I didn't invite. My dog just walked in the room. All right. Anyway, is that everyone's comments? So
Oh,
everyone talk.
Oh,
Should we
hold
take,
on.
questions
Hold on.
from the,
Mr. Left Turn has
the
something
chat?
to add.
Wait, what?
Mr. Left Turn has something to add.
All right.
Applejack did do something. If AJ didn't lasso the girls up on the pirate ship to keep them hidden for a little longer, the pirates would have shoved them overboard. That few seconds saved them from death because the only reason the pirates didn't throw them overboard was because it was lunchtime.
Nice.
Thank you, Lefty.
Yeah.
I give
All
you a
right.
bro.
That's a good point.
Anyway,
It's a fair point, but it still doesn't.
it's still like but there were some
Yeah,
there were
kinda.
moments where like a character did some small thing that's helped really save the film. But anyway, I
Yeah,
think
one small thing doesn't seem like a lot.
yeah.
But
The next movie should have
Yeah.
more potential.
But I think other than that, I think that's everyone's thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess we'll I think I'm done talking. And I don't think there's really any questions in the chat, so I think we're gonna. Is it okay if we call it quits here then?
sure.
Actually, do you want to see
And
any?
shall I do the thing that's wanting to do?
It's been an hour and a half, so it's been a good length stream.
Yeah.
You want to see that anyone's asking any of us questions?
Does not
They want to
look like
ask us like anything about the film.
I think
it
I
might
think
be the
everyone's
perfect time because they
basically
might have something to
good.
ask us that I might get a bit of a different opinion.
Well, Robert, you should look at the comments. I think Lefty has a message for you.
I can't read the comments at the moment
Okay,
because
it
I'm
says
on my laptop.
you were proven
sorry.
wrong,
If
Rosemary. Take
I
it
go
like
on
a
the video,
man.
it'll get an
That's what he
echo,
said.
so you have to read the comment for me. Sorry.
I just did that. It says you were
Oh, sorry.
proven wrong, Roberry. Take it like a man. Sincerely, Lefty.
Shall I do the thing that I was wanting to do, Laser?
Can we self promote our stuff before we leave?
Oh, here, yeah, I can give you guys shots. All right, Blue Prism, fantastic artist, and also, by the way, you can find all the links if you go to the Rift City channel on the right-hand side. It will have everyone's channels linked. So we have Blue Prism, talented artist, basically the best artist we have in the Rift City. Mira Marvel does fan-featured stuff. She's recently put out 2 musical launching animatics that were made off of an existing video, which have been linked because we credit people here because we're not scum. So
yeah.
those have been linked.
Cough,
Go
cough,
check them out. They're really interesting. I actually really enjoyed the second one because I understand your issue with the Y section, but it did come out really nicely.
Thank you.
And then we have Pat Rex, incredibly good reviewer, who, unfortunately, despite his talent, is still being screwed over by YouTube monetization. Thank you, YouTube, for nothing. Then we have Patrick Rory, a clay model, and also does reviews, and he does reviews much more frequently than I think any of us, because Patrick Rory just has the time and doesn't have other people to bug
I
him
just
about
make weekly videos. That's and also, if you're wondering, this is no longer my OC. If you want to understand why that is, go see my
it.
channel.
Go check out his
and
channel,
go see
which
my
is linked on the Red City
new,
channel.
brand new OC that's literally just been announced today.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
brand
does
new
remind
OC's
me.
been
You do have to now change your profile picture.
Yeah.
I'm going to be changing it tomorrow. I haven't had a chance. I'm
Good
literally
thing.
in Scotland. I don't have the pictures with me
Yeah, that's true.
here.
All right.
So,
And then,
but yes, if you want, I have been. It's been a 2-year project that's pretty much been working on, and now it's finally out. And
Scary.
Pat
Anyway,
Rex thinks it's scary, but
you guys
think
will have to
it's,
check it out on Pat
really-
Rex. Patrick Rory's channel, and then we are also joined by.
channel.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, we
Jesus.
also have Trends Gamer here. He does reviews. He talks about MLP. He also put out some pretty funny videos as of late, which are actually quite enjoyable. They're super short and sweet. Highly recommend it. It's not like a huge time investment. And then in spirit, we have Mr. Left Turn, who Patrick gave us his notes. Mr. Left Turn is also a reviewer and a NASCAR fan, and actually has a really cool reviewing system and style that I highly recommend checking out. They're very well clean cut edited videos. And
And
then
he has the
last,
best voice.
he probably has the best voice in the Rip City.
My impression did it quite good justice, though. I think.
Yeah, you'll have to go check out Lefty's videos to see to hear his magnificent voice. And then lastly, there is myself. I make just random videos, nothing super special. Though I will be coming out with a video this Sunday about a problem that continues to plague the internet called net neutrality. So if you guys want to check that out, it'll be out this Sunday.
And also, if you want to
You're lucky
actually,
you're my boyfriend.
if you actually want to, you'll actually see his OC for a change rather than the icon he's got now.
Yeah, you'll be able to see my OC. Not that's amazing. It's literally like if you took a white pony and then gave it Sonic hair and made it blonde. Boom, there's your OC. And you stretched out its legs.
Cute, but you look okay. You look amazing, babe.
All right. Well, thank you. Though I think we're going to have to call that a wrap. So thank you all for joining. If you did enjoy, please check out the Rift City channel and be sure to check out our other friends in the Rift City. And now
There's
there's-
I double
Sarah.
Patrick Roberry.
Okay, time to stop it. Too many Patricks. All right. Peace out, everyone.
Shall I do